One of the verses in the Asadivar refers to the human frame and beauty being left behind after death and reward or punishment being received according to one's good or bad deeds. It refers to orders having been given at pleasure. Um, the former potentate has now to tread the narrow path. He stands exposed and looks frightening as he goes to hell. One has to regret one's evil deeds in the end. The language used in the stanza suggests that the potentate was a ruler and a Muslim. In another stanza, reference to the Muslim ruler is explicit when he is called Sultan. Disgraced by God, he becomes lighter than the blade of grass and receives no charity when he begs from door to door. They who had caparisoned horses running fast like the wind, who had colorful harems, who were proud of their splendid palaces and tall mansions, and who did whatever they liked, are seen as having wasted their lives without knowing God, issuing commands to others they had forgotten death. Old age has overtaken them. Presumably, they will face judgment not only for what they did as individuals, but also as rulers. There is explicit reference to Turco Afghan rule, the Turk Pahani Aml. It is seen as a characteristic of the Kali Yuga. The name of God now is Allah, and the favorite color for dress is blue. An assessment is built into this close association of Turco Afghan rule with the worst of the cosmic ages. In the Kali Yuga, has occurred the famine of truth and falsehood has spread all around. Human beings have turned into goblins. The seed is crushed, and it cannot sprout. Greed, evil, and lust are dominant, like the Raja, Mehta, and Shikadar. The fire of passion is the chariot, and falsehood the charioteer in the Kali Yuga. The assessment is not always implicit, it is explicitly stated that they who perform namaz can yet eat human beings. This can be seen as a reference to oppression under the Turco-Afghan rule. Guru Nanak's comment covers the rulers as sultans, badshahs, and rajas. It covers the ruling class and naibs, khans, maliks, the umara, and the sikdars. The intermediaries between them and the subject people, Reajat, are referred to as mehtas and mukaddams. Like the ordinary people, the rulers and the other representatives of the state die in the end, leaving all their possessions behind. They remain entangled in death and rebirth. The armies and palaces provide no support without the true name. The horses and elephants and spears and trumpets are false without the remembrance of the Lord, and there is no liberation without the Guru's Shabbat, even for Rajas, Khans, and Maliks. Millions may stand up to salute the masters of vast armies, and millions may obey them, but all this is futile without honor in God's court. Even more than the ordinary people, the rulers suffer from the disease of Home. Unlike the ordinary people, the rulers collect wealth on the basis of their power, and their thirst for power is never quenched. If anything, the rulers and the state functionaries are more disadvantaged than the ordinary people for the pursuit of ethical and spiritual life. Indeed, the rulers are butchers. They suck human blood. The rajas act like lions, and the mukaddams act like dogs. They fall upon the people at will. The lions inflict wounds, and the blood is licked by the dogs. Justice is administered not in the name of God as a primary duty of the rulers, but only when the palm is greased. There is discrimination on the basis of faith. Now that the turn of the Shahiks has come, Adipurk is called Allah. It has become customary to tax gods in their temples. The verses known as Babur Bani contain, among other things, a political comment. The army of Babur is called the marriage party of sin. Brides are demanded by force. The rites of marriage are performed by Satan and not by the Qatsi or the Brahman. The reference clearly is to rape. No distinction was made between women and low and high caste, um, or between Muslim and Hindu women. Khurasan Kabul was occupied in a friendly manner, but Hindustan was threatened. The Mughals descended as the agency of death. The people cried in suffering. God is the creator of all human beings. If the mighty strike the mighty, the fight is equal. But if a lion falls upon a herd of cattle, the master is accountable. The unarmed civilian people were killed, and the rulers of the land did not protect them. Thus, both Babur and the Afghan rulers are blamed. The Afghans suffered for their political failure. Gone are the sports and stables of the erstwhile while rulers. Gone are their sword belts and red tunics. Gone are their palaces and tall mansions, and the harams in which beautiful women banished their sleep. Wealth cannot be amassed without sins, and it leads to misery. God takes away the goodness from those whom he wishes to mislead. Their tall mansions have been razed, and even the princes have been cut into pieces. The women of the ruling classes lived a life of luxury and indulgence, oblivious of God. They suffered with their men. They were dishonored. Had they thought beforehand, they would not have suffered. There is a moral dimension to the political situation in which men and women suffer because of their misdeeds in accordance with God's hukum. With all their power, pride, and pelf, the rulers were subject to the power of God, the only true ruler. His service is far preferable to service of the earthly rulers. That is why Nam is Guru Nanak's power, his divan, his army, and his sultan. He who has direct access to the divine court does not have to bow to anyone else. By turning to God, the colorless cloth could be dyed and the split seed could become whole to sprout again. For Guru Angad, the state is represented by Padshahs, Salas, Mirs, and Maliks, Fotadars, and Chudaris. Orders are issued and executed. There are the archers with their bows and arrows. Power is exercised in accordance with the divine ordinance. They have no power of their own. The only power in the universe is that of God. For Guru Amar Das too, God is the true king. His rule is eternal. In all the four yugas there is only one ruler, Padshah, and only one command, Amr. God is the king of kings. There is no one above him. There is only one who heads the government of the universe, and he alone issues orders. Compared with the true king, the rulers of the world pale into insignificance. Do not call them rajas who fight and die on the field of battle. They assume birth again and again, like ordinary men. God has spread the true umbrella over the heads of Bhagats who enjoy real rulership, Patishahi. He who turns to the Guru finds the rulership of the world. The real Patishahs are they who are dyed in the name. All other Patishahs are false. In the compositions of Guru Ramdas, figure kings and emperors, divans, khans, maliks, and umara. Apart from bhupats and rajas, there are raos and ranas. There are local administrators, shikdars and chudaris, and there are collectors of tax, jagati. Courts are held and orders are issued. Justice is sought and punishment inflicted. There are forts, palaces, gates, and pillars. There are means for striking coins. There are the subject people over and above them all is the power of God. Even the rulers are accountable to him. Guru Arjan refers to the hierarchy of power from the Panchas to the Raja through the Sikadars and the Umara. The real power belongs to God. He is the true master, Sacha Sahib, through his throne and through his treasury. His rule is true. The Lord of the universe is the master of Khans and Sultans. He alone has the umbrella of sovereignty over his head, and no one else. He is the King of Kings. The prince and the pauper are the same in his eyes. He can degrade the sultans and khans in a moment and exalt the lowly to lordship. He can turn rollers into worms and raise a worm to power. Horses and elephants are symbols of power with which are associated the means of luxury and indulgence. Without piety, however, rulership, riches, power, wealth, and authority are of no avail. Armies, deputies, and courtiers are the source of home. Vast territory and enjoyment of innumerable women are no more real than a dream. There is no real satisfaction in being a Malik or a Ken. Earthly things are left behind: rulership, riches, horses and elephants, youth, fame, beauty, and wealth. In comparison with the eternal ruler, Renas and Raos are mere beggars. Far preferable to their service, chakri and office of status, poddari, is God's service and honor in God's court. The true Guru is the true king, the King of Kings. To sit in his presence is better than to stand in the presence of emperors.